DJI Mini, only playing out of one side of your headphone. What is the problem? Okay, let's troubleshoot. Let's start by connecting this to the DJI Mimo app. That's the first thing that we're gonna do. So we're gonna go ahead and press and hold this power button right here and turn it off. Then we're gonna press it again until it turns blue to connect it. Okay, so now it's blue. Now that it's blue, do this first. We open the app. That pops up. We're going to connect it. So here's the reason, most likely, why it is only playing in one ear. I know it's going to sound backwards. Most likely you have this on stereo. Now, when you have it on stereo, this is a common mistake in the DJI Mimo app. What you're doing is you just turned one transmitter to the left and one to the right. So in stereo mode, the system assigns mic 1 strictly to the left channel and mic 2 strictly to the right channel. Now, if you only take out one mic, what happens is, because mic 2 is turned off, the right channel records completely silent. And then when you listen back in your headphones, the audio stays permanently stuck on the left side. The second mistake that most people make is the safety track. You turn this thing on, called a safety track, right? So you go to mono, say you're in mono, you did the right thing, but then you turn the safety track on, right? So what you're doing here when you turn the safety track on is you chose the safety track mode. This mode deliberately records your normal full volume voice on the left channel and a much quieter backup track, -6 dB on the right channel. The result? If you don't tell your video editing software to average out or balance those two tracks, anyone wearing headphones will hear a weird lopsided imbalance. Loud audio on the left ear and quiet audio on the right ear. So what's the fix? The fix, it sounds the opposite of what you want, right? So you want a stereo track nicely balanced out in both ears. So you do not use this safety track when you're, in mono. You keep this in mono and you turn off safety track in the receiver. All right, so there we go. Let's get back to the issue at hand right here. One ear is playing, so you keep this on mono and you uncheck the safety track. All right, now let's get into some, let me just zoom out here. Zoom out. All right, that ain't gonna work, so let me tilt it. So let's get into some phone settings now. All right, so let's plug this thing in. Let's plug it into the phone. Okay, so here we are back in the app. We're gonna double check everything. All right, so here you have everything connected. All right, you have your DJI Mini, you got your 2 transmitters, you got this audio channel on mono, and you have safety track unchecked. To look at it visually, you see both lines are moving. That means I'm using 2 mics and it's evenly balanced out. So when I put it on mono, what the receiver is doing is it's giving me a nice equal balance to both ears in the headphones. So it's not gonna separate the vocal tracks where I have to do mixing in the editing of, because what's gonna happen if I put it to stereo, it's gonna put one track to the left and the other one to the right. if I turn on the safety track in mono mode, it's going to give a very low volume to the right ear and a regular volume to the left ear. I don't want none of that. I just want it to be simple. So I keep this audio channel on mono with the safety track off. I double check it by looking at these, right? And everything's connected. All right. Now, this is the difference. Now, when you get over to the camera settings, you want to have, if you're using an iPhone, you want to have it in stereo mode. Y'all see that? Yeah. You want to have it in stereo mode for your iPhone camera. You do not want to use spatial mode, and you do not want to use mono. You just use stereo. Even if you're using one mic, don't worry about it. If you're using one mic, it's going to balance out your vocals from that one mic to both ears on the headphone. So you keep this in stereo, but the receiver, you keep mono. You keep with the safety track off. All right, and that's your evidence that it's using both microphones, even though it's in mono, right? It's just balancing it out, left ear, right ear, so you don't have to do any post editing unless you want to. Maybe you got Final Cut Pro and you want to do that. Now let's go to the Blackmagic app. Same thing. You go to settings. All right. You scroll down to where it says audio. You choose your mic just to make sure you're not using the iPhone mic. I did a video on that. I'll put the link in the description right here at the top, somewhere, right, left. There you go. So now you know you're using this mic. And same thing, stereo. No dual, mono, none of that stuff. 4 channels, no. Just put it in stereo and keep it in stereo. All right. Now you won't have to worry about, oh, and to double check, you go back to camera mode on the Blackmagic app and you see both as I speak. You see both left and right, both microphones, are being equally recorded. It's just going to go nice, balanced out, left ear, right ear. So let me just refresh your memory here. You go back to this app, keep this mono for simplicity's sake, unless you want to do post audio editing. Safety track off. Double check it by looking at this with 2 mics. Doesn't matter if you're using 1 mic or 2 mic, just keep that mono. All right. And then on your camera settings, keep those stereo. Got any questions or comments? Leave it in the comment section.